What is up, everyone? Sorry, it's been a minute. I got sick last week. I couldn't find the energy. Couldn't find I guess the motivation. Yeah. Which is funny. It's kind of what I want to talk about. A little bit of motivation, a little bit of courage. But yeah, I couldn't find the motivation. I really couldn't, guys. I struggled last week. Missed a couple days of work. Had a terrible cough. Missed some cornhole. That is my fun thing, and I missed it, and it sucked. But yeah, you know, I want to come on here today though and talk to you guys a little bit about I've had some interesting conversations over the past week, since the last time I talked to you guys. Some real interesting conversations. Some of it just some of it hit deep. A lot about life and how to deal with it, and then some of it just dealing motivation itself. Like, how do you motivate yourself day to day? How do you motivate yourself when it comes to certain tasks? Then I've had, how do you motivate yourself in cornhole? Because I have a bunch of cornhole friends, so it's it was one of those things. But I found a lot is just, you got to motivate yourself in life to just get up and keep moving, and that's a big one to me, because sometimes you just want to stick around and lay on the couch or lay in bed, and you don't have the energy, you don't have the will to, and that's rough sometimes. But then you gotta motivate yourself. You gotta get up and go to work. You gotta, it's one of those things. And then I want to talk a little bit about some things like courage in life and courage to do certain things. Like I had to have the courage to go and propose to my now fiance. That was a big one to me. Guys, I called everyone. I called my dad, my brother, my mom. I was nervous. And I don't know why. I don't know why I was so nervous, and I don't know why I was so scared, but I guess I was just scared that she wouldn't say yes. But I had to find the courage to do that, and I have to find the courage to wake up every day and try to be better than the next day. And that's another thing that came up in a conversation I had over this past week is, how do you find the courage and motivation to just wake up tomorrow and be better than you were yesterday? How is that possible sometimes? And sometimes it feels like you hit a brick wall and you stop still and you don't have a foot. You don't have a footing. You're nervous or scared to move forward, but that's just where it takes, the one day at a time, one step at a time. And it's rough. It's some days you have a good day, some days you have a bad day. But then in the good days, you'll have a bad moment and you feel like it ruins your whole day. But you can't let 10 minutes of a day ruin the rest of the 23 hours and 50 minutes you have in that day. Some days you wake up, you felt like you didn't sleep enough, and you tossed and turned all night, and you feel like your day is just going to be a terrible day from the get-go. Okay, well, what motivation do you have to turn that around? And that's a lot that I deal with personally sometimes, is damn, I have to turn my day around to have a better day. What do I have to do that? Do I have the strength and courage to do that? Do I have the motivation to go and do that? Sometimes no, and I let it get the best of me, and sometimes yeah. And I'm trying to work on that to be a better person, not only for myself, but for those around me, my fiance, my parents, my brother, my friends. And I just feel like I just have to take one day at a time, one step at a time to do that. And now, what bothers me is those that don't want to take that step, and that used to be me. Is they don't even want to try to take that step. I don't get it. I don't understand the no. And I guess I didn't get it myself when I would go through those days or go through bad times, and it all just fell down on myself. It all fell down on me personally. It fell down on what I was doing wrong. What can I do better? Like, but it never fell down to the what am I doing right? And that's what I had to come to a conclusion on is what am I doing right? Because why don't I just keep doing the right things and I'll continue on a right path? But sometimes life throws curveballs and you don't know how to swing. You don't know. You never expected it, and yeah, you gotta expect the unexpected in life. But sometimes expecting the unexpected is a lot harder than it actually looks like. Like I said, it takes motivation and courage to be able to do that. Like to expect an unexpected. I have in life, come to a conclusion that and let me get this straight because I got this from my father. It came down to in life, no matter what you do, no matter what you think you're doing, what happens today, what happened yesterday, or what happens tomorrow, there's only one certainty. And the one certainty is the sun will come up tomorrow. The sun will rise another day. That is like a life quote I have realized. But then there's also another side of that. There's a Latin saying memento mori. Memento mori means everyone dies. Well, what do you look forward to trying to make your life better, or do you just look forward to dying? And that has hit me at a dead standstill. I am right in between. It has taken me by the wrist and just held me there because yeah, I want to do good in life. I want to have a successful life. But what is success to me? What is that? What does that take? What motivation do I have to have that? What courage do I have to take that step to be successful in life? But do I have that motivation when I know that one day I won't wake up the next morning? Sometimes it's a wall, and that is a hard fought lesson to try and consider in life. On brighter notes, I'm not sick anymore. Work's going all right, finding the motivation just get up in the morning and go to work the next day. Sometimes I just drag ass and drink Red Bull or coffee and take my nicotine pouches. Yeah, that's my downfall. It's probably, I have to have some sort of motivation to get me going. That's not just high on life kind of thing. But cornhole's going great, guys. Playing in 2 different leagues. First in one league, first in the other league. We're going to see how it keeps going. Maybe we can finish out strong. That might be a motivation for me right now just to keep going, because that's my fun enjoyment time. That's not spending with my fiance, and that's a motivation I found that has helped me. Just keep going. Yeah, like I don't know. I'm still in the thought process though of some stuff that was said to me today, and it hit hard because I have a friend who's slowly losing his father, and it's an inevitable thing. His father was diagnosed with ALS, and it's one of those things. It is killing his father slowly, but it's also killing my friend slowly because he's losing his hero, his father, and he's having a rough time finding the courage just to stay strong, not only for himself, but for his father, for his son, for those around him. He almost broke down just talking to me about it, and I could sit there and just listen to him go on and just try to be there for him, but when I know that there's nothing I can personally do, it hurts, because I want to be there though for those that are there for me, and seeing him slowly lose his motivation, slowly losing hope, it feels like it's rough, and just know, like, and I told him, I was like, death is inevitable. Sometimes it's an easy thing, sometimes it's a nasty thing. Like losing my grandfather a few years ago, about 2.5 years ago. That was a very ugly death. Or losing my other grandfather, who slowly passed away from old age and sickness. I just hope one day when death arises, I don't bring as much hurt to those around me that I think it will. Because I don't like seeing people in pain. Seeing people in pain and seeing people hurting when life is so joyous, like, that is it's a very scary thought. Now I have other friends that they message me every day and, oh, look at this, and they're wonderful about life, but clueless to the world around them sometimes. And I feel like that's a big thing that a lot of people deal with, is just, you're a small fish in a big pond, and there's more to life than just you. You have to try and live your life to the fullest, but at the same time, you got to deal with the real world that's around you. Oh, look. Ash is making an entrance. And sorry about the glare. Can't do anything. It's almost 5 o'clock. I can't do anything about the glare. I get a thing there, but then the cats will be pissed and they won't have the sunlight and look outside. They like looking outside, but only one of them likes going outside. Back to topic though. There's a real world and consequences in life that some people just don't care for. Um, and then some people, that's all they're wrapped around, is they're wrapped around what's going on outside of their life. But that's one thing you have to stay motivated to, is fulfilling your life to its fullest. Be motivated and courageous enough to be able to do that, and take the chance sometimes. And I know it's scary sometimes to be able to step into something new. Trust me, with all the jobs I've had in my life, every new job is a new experience. It's an eye opener. It when I started this job, I was excited about a challenge, but as it started, I was stressed, and all I could think about was work. I get home, work. Go to work, work. Get home, work. There was never any in between. And then I had to find motivation to, okay, I got to find motivation about my own life and keep living my own life and have a wonderful life that God has meant for us here on earth. We all are just bodies on a space rock flying through the universe into nothing. Like, what is out there in the universe, I'll probably maybe never know in my lifetime. Those younger than me will never know in our lifetime. Those older than me might not never know. But we might find out. But that comes down to those that were courageous enough to explore, courageous enough to find out what's more to life than life, and what's more to this, floating rock in space that we live on. And like I said, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm not trying to make you have a different outlook on life. These are all my own personal opinions. But what I do wish is, if you aren't courageous enough to take that next step, find the will to motivate yourself to be able to be courageous enough to take the next step. That is a huge eye-opener, and it may change your life forever. I did a podcast to be able to express myself and for y'all to learn more about me. I am a very closed-off person. Those that are in my inner circle know I am very open, very sporadic sometimes, and very... I've been called bipolar. I don't know. I'm everywhere. But only those in my closed circle. Now I have some that are right on the edge of my closed circle that they know somewhat about me, somewhat not about me. But I wanted to be open to everyone, because life is more than just life. There is more than just you. There's more than just the people that are right around you. You might know 100 people. You might call 50 of them acquaintances. You might call 5 of them friends. Well, hell, maybe even 10. But that doesn't even make a dent in the world that we live in. There's, 8 billion people in the world? It is crazy to think that the world is so small around you, but yet so big around you at the same time. And I guess that's an oxymoron, but it's true. And I just want everyone to realize there is more to life than just being hidden and closed off You have to be courageous enough to take that next step. And also, you need to find motivation to keep you going in life and to keep just to keep you moving forward. And that's what I'm trying to get at. And that's just what's been weighing on my mind this past week. Which is a lot to think of. And I want to hear your guys' opinion on it. I want to hear, oh look, a holy shirt, because it's my shirt I wore to work and it got a hole in it and I don't care. But sorry about that. I probably have like some form of ADHD or something because I get distracted like, ooh, a fly. No, I don't know. But like I said, I wanted you guys to know a little bit more about me. I wanted to speak what was heavy on my mind. I wanted to hopefully entertain you, give you a good thought to think on, and I look forward to the next one. Trust me, I'll have a couple more this week. I'm sorry about this past week, but like I said, until then, guys, stay motivated, stay courageous. Peace out.